welcome back, everybody, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look at all of the books coming out this new comic book Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024. We can say now it's completely just Wednesday because DC and Lunar have just decided to finally move everything back to Wednesday. So no more some stuff comes out Tuesday and some stuff comes out Wednesday. July 3rd, we get everything all at once. So all of our books come back out on Wednesday again, so we can all celebrate, new comic book Wednesday like normal. That all said, this is I don't want to say quick rundown anymore because I've got some comments that sometimes these shows run a little bit long, so it's not a quick rundown. This is my full rundown of all the good stuff that's coming out this week, in my opinion. Some of the stuff that's trading at a premium, some of the cool variants, some of the little theme things that they might be running for the month, some new number ones, etc. This is just my rundown of all the books I think you should be paying attention to as far as what I'm reading, what I think is good, things that people are talking about, etc. for this week for New Comic Book Day. Also, hopefully you're enjoying this as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Your comments do help. I do take them to heart. I do listen to what you have to say. So if you have something you want to recommend or suggest, please feel free to do so. And while you're down there, make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you hit that alert button so you don't miss anything. So this way you know when all the new content is dropping. You can also check out our Discord. And if you haven't given Whatnot a try, now is your chance to sign up. First-time users, you get free $15 on me to buy whatever you want from whoever you want. No strings attached. First-time users, you sign up, you get $15 to spend on your first purchase on whatever you like. You get free $15. You also help out the channel. It's a win-win situation. So just give it a try if you haven't tried it already. It's an interesting experience shopping on Whatnot. I will say that very simply. I'll probably try to get back there at some point during this summer. I got a lot of books I need to clear out of here. Just again, clear collection, try to make space here in my home office / comic book room so I could get rid of some of my books. And that might be a good option at some point once I got time. But honestly, I don't have a lot of free time. I mean, apart from doing all the shows that I do here for Rennavision, I also have started up a brand new channel as well, Toy Informer. Used to be an old channel. It used to be an old site that I used to work with my buddies Mike Morello and Mr. Bolo and Ben C. Mellow Fellow, if you don't know who that is. And a couple of guys kind of contributed here or there. But this was our little attempt at doing basically what CBSI was, but for toys. It kind of fell by the wayside. We didn't keep up with it, so it kind of died on the vine. But I'm going to try to bring it back as a channel here on YouTube because I still like talking about toys. I don't know about all of you. I know a lot of our viewers here are comic book only, but if you do like toys or you know somebody who likes toys, shoot them my way. Send them over to the channel because I will be building that channel out as I did with this one, with same kind of content, talking about the stuff that I love, that nostalgia stuff, new toys coming out each week with some of the news, etc., and all kinds of things, talking about toys, video games, collectibles, etc. Figured I was trying to do it here on the channel with the comics, but those markets don't always align. So I figured, you know what? We'll separate them. We'll do things separate. And yeah, I know it's going to take time, but I can appreciate your help in building up the channel. So go over there and give it a sub, like a video, give it a watch, and set the alarms, etc. on that channel as well. And I would appreciate it. All of that jibber jabber aside, I'm kind of filling time because this week, it's actually a short week. Like, there's not a lot of good stuff this week. And maybe it's because of the holiday, but it's the start of a new month. And there's not a lot here. There's a few things, but there's not a lot. But if you want to see what books to look out for this week, all you got to do is hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so let's see. What do we have on this week's watch list? As I said, it's a little bit of a lighter week, but we do still have a decent number of my personal picks. These are the things that I am personally very looking forward to in checking out this week. This is that top of the pile stuff that I can't wait to check out. Starting off with last week's surprise drop. That's right. You guys saw it on the Hot 10 list because it came out of nowhere. I even missed it doing the watch list last week because I had no idea that this secret drop was coming out because I didn't know what was going to happen in Blood Hunt. Spoilers for last week's issue of Blood Hunt, but Moon Knight has returned, And Moon Knight is coming back with a number 0 issue to kind of kick off a brand new series from Mark Spector. So this issue 0 dropped as a secret special drop, one per store, one per account, whatever you want to call it, at shops last week, along with details on how they should be able to order more, because an actual to-purchase version of this is coming out on July 3rd. But see back here on the back of this polybagged edition, it tells you, here, I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Retailers, you're holding in your hands the heretofore top secret shadow drop variant edition of Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu number 0. This week, Mark Spector made his triumphant return in the pages of Bloodhood, and now Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu 0, blah, 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 with all the numbers and codes, etc., is in stock and available while supplies last. So this was like a last-ditch order attempt, or not attempt, but order opportunity for stores to get this issue 0 book for this Wednesday to sell to all of us, collectors and readers. So with that, this is the book. That was the copy that they gave to shops. This is the book that we will all be able to buy with a pretty cool EM gift cover. So I'm going to probably pick this up and check it out as well. I did not get a copy of that secret drop book because they got pretty expensive pretty quick. Since I think the prices kind of come down a little bit, but it shot up pretty hard and pretty high pretty fast. So we'll see if it holds or what the future holds for that book, because this series actually isn't starting until like October. So we got time until a new Moon Knight book is coming, but this issue 0 is coming this Wednesday. Now, apart from that book, the other thing I can't wait for is Energon Universe. It is one of my favorite things running right now. Just that whole corner over at Skybound, Transformers, Void Rivals, all the G.I. Joe stuff. I can't get enough of it. So with that, Scarlet issue 2 is coming out. I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait to read this thing. Pretty cool cover 1. She's got the crazy eyes going here, holding that katana and just kind of staring you down. But I really like the B cover here as well, which it was listed as a spoiler cover because, well, this was up for order before issue 1 dropped. And we all know at the end of issue 1, Storm Shadow shows up. So if you read issue 1 and now it's a month later, hopefully you did, it's not a spoiler anymore, but it wasn't one time a spoiler that this cover, because Storm Shadow was on it. Because again, he showed up at the end of last issue. They still, in a lot of places, also still show spoiler for the 1 in 25 incentive for that same reason. But we have a 1 in 10, we got a 1 in 25, and a 1 in 50. I like all of these. They are all very nice covers. The 1 in 10 is, again, a connecting cover set, as all of the Skybound books have been with the Energon Universe. So with these 2 issues so far, this is what we're looking at as far as our Scarlet mural goes. Again, they kind of tell the story on the covers, one by one as they go, kind of summarizing things. So you had the whole, with the motorcycle bits, and then you got this, the sword, etc. Guess we'll get more into that this issue. But as you can see, issue 1, 2, boom, connecting up 1 in 10s with that. So the other ones will, continue as follows. As I mentioned, the 1 in 25 has been shown in a lot of places as a spoiler cover, but you should probably guess what the spoiler is by now, and it's the Storm Shadow card back version. So all the 1 in 25s on these G.I. Joe books have had like this card back background. I've gotten most of them, but man, I can't keep buying 1 in 25s for every book throughout every run because it's just getting expensive. That said, hopefully I order this. I got to double check to see if I did, but I got to make sure I get this one because it's Storm Shadow. I'm a big fan. Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow. I mean, who isn't, right? And that said, most of these 1 in 25s with the Skybound books have not really done all that much, but some of them do pop a little bit. And so far, Scarlet with this Storm Shadow cover, yes, some copies might sell for best offer on $20, while others are selling for $50 or $30. And then you got copies available also $30 to $40 kind of right now. So we'll see if that kind of holds or if this ends up more down by ratio. I would probably guess this will probably be, ratio to $30, $35 as the week goes on. Just my guess. And again, you're paying a little bit of a premium because there'll be a few more shoppers for that Storm Shadow cover. Now, with that said, apart from the Energon Universe, we're also getting the first installment of DC's summer event, Absolute Power. I really want to give this a try. I really want to give it the benefit of the doubt, but as of right now, I'm not that excited. I know my buddy Corbin's really excited for this, But I'm telling you, I'm just tapped out on Amanda Waller. How many times can we tell the same story? Oh boy, here's Amanda Waller again. She's building a, a scheme or something to counteract the Justice League. It's not the Suicide Squad this time. This time she's using all sorts of robots and AI to tap into all our AI robot fears. So bring on Failsafe, bring on Lady Brainiac, bring on all of the Amazos you can find. And that's now our new big bad to go with Waller. We'll see. I'll give it, like I said, give it a try. I know I'm kind of talking down on it, but I am willing to give it a try. I gave the Ground Zero a try. It was basically an anthology of just quick little setup stories that again are supporting my worst fears that it's just going to be a run of the mill paint by numbers event, but who knows? Maybe they'll shock me. Maybe they'll shock me. I'm hoping with that. But plenty of covers here. There's a whole gaggle of covers here, and they are all open orders. There are no incentives. We've got A's and B's and C's from Jim Lee. We got portraits, and we've got Puppeteer Lee giving us a cover over there. We've got Zillow doing a sandbox. We've got Samney giving us a cover. We've got an Absolute Power here, the Usual Suspects lineup cover. We've got a foil version as well, if you want a foil version, as well as a poster looking thing with the Trinity. And like I said, whole bunch of robots and Amazos, because they are the big bads in this. We'll see. Could be interesting. Could be not as interesting as we hope. We'll see. Like I said, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but right now, the setup has not got me excited. But then again, you can't really get that excited over the setup of Blood Hunt. Like, ooh, vampires are taking over the Marvel Universe. Seems pretty standard, seems pretty cheesy and generic, but in actuality, I'm enjoying Blood Hunt. So, again, depending how they execute this, maybe I will enjoy this, despite the fact that the setup isn't all that intriguing. But we are getting tie-ins, and one of those tie-ins is Batman. So I'm always reading Batman anyway, but this is an Absolute Power tie-in here with issue 150, which is a milestone issue, as well as Batman with Failsafe is kind of a big part of this storyline with the ties. And there's multiple covers here as well. We got an interesting Harley and the Gotham City Sirens back there behind them. You got Poison Ivy on a cover over here as well. We got a 1 in 25 and a Magic Mike looking 1 in 50. I almost put this in a WTF section, but there wasn't enough for a WTF section. And this was like the only one that was really hitting me, is that 1 in 50. At first glance, you look at it from a distance, it looks like he's doing a little dance and getting, all the villains are putting dollars in his little bat utility belt. But closer inspection, yeah, they're pulling him down. You got all the villains and Man-Bats and Jokers, etc. But I'm just saying, at a distance, my first impression when I looked at this is like, why is he on the pole? But it is what it is. We are also getting a sequel to Spider-Man Reign starting up this week. So I'm kind of curious, looking forward to this. Carrie Andrews. I like the first one. I know there's been a lot of talk about all this extra spider webbing and that Gandalf beard just flowing out of his mask there, but still, pretty cool image here on the regular cover A. There are other covers here as well, including callbacks to the original. And we got what to me looks like Lionel Francis Yu giving us Vincent Van Gogh as Spider-Man. I don't know. I know he's grayed out and not red, but he doesn't have the orange hair. But I don't know. For some reason, I got a Van Gogh vibe out of him. I don't know why. Just did. We also got, I think, a Del Mundo mixed in here with a Scotty Young. So there's a lot of cool different covers. I mean, get the one that you like. These are all open order covers. And then there are a couple of incentives on this book, including a 1 in 25 and a Virgin 1 in 100. I think the 1 in 25 is the Lyrics Lee, and then the Carrie Andrews Virgin 1 is the cover A. And that 1 in 100 can be found around ratio a little bit. We've got some sales as cheap as 90. But as high as 130. So it's a little bit above, a little bit below ratio. Asking prices, well, right now, from what I found, they're starting at more like 125, and then there's a few higher. They're looking like 190 to 200 bucks. I still think this ends up probably closer to ratio by the end of the week, as copies actually hit people's hands and get delivered from all their online retailers, etc. But we'll see. We'll see how much interest there is for this book in particular. And then next we have the 1 in 25, which is that Lyrics Lee cover that I mentioned. This is a black cat, I guess, in this weird future. And she has a full-on kitty mask, which is A little weird, a little creepy, but okay. We'll see how this thing whole plays out. Looks like I did a weird edit here job on my on deck. So yeah, there's nothing to show here except, well, there's the cover right there. Pre-sales are around that $30 to $50, and then asking prices are looking for, again, 35 to like 40 right now. So it's a little bit above ratio, something to keep an eye on as the week goes on. But like I said, the list is kind of short this week, so we're going to roll right into Blood Hunt. So the Blood Hunt this week, there is no main title continuation. I mean, we only got the finale coming with issue 5, but we do have a few of these minis and more one-shots to drop in there before we wrap this bad boy up. So first up, we have Black Panther 3 wrapping up his little 3-issue mini arc. And you saw in the last issue that he was fighting the influence of the vampires because of the heart-shaped herb or whatever they call it. I can always forget the names of things in these, but you know what I'm saying. The thing that makes him Black Panther is helping him fight the infection of the vampires, and he was able to fight back. Not very significantly, but he put up a fight. A couple of covers here, just A and a B basically on this one. Choose the one that you like. We also get the 3rd issue of Blood Hunters. I thought this was only going to be 2 issues, but no, it is 3. Another big event in that 4th issue, apart from the big reveal of who the big bad is for this Blood Hunt series and the return of Mark Spector, Dr. Doom also got handed the Eye of Agamotto. He is the new Sorcerer Supreme to help break this everlasting darkness that's going on in the Marvel Universe that's helping the vampires do what they do. Anyway, so we're getting a mini story in here with Dr. Doom. We're getting a Hell Cow story, and we're getting Dagger, who I think is also mixing it up with Elsa Bloodstone in a little side story there. That's continuing through this thing. Again, 2 covers. Pick the one that you like, and yeah, so they got that mini running on. We got tie-in still going with Doctor Strange, who's played a big part because his body has been taken over, but we've had the Doctor floating around in his astral plane form with Clea. And yeah, so we'll see how this all gets taken care of. Because again, Doctor Doom needs that. He needs to be the Sorcerer Supreme to pull off what they need to pull off. A couple of covers on this one, but the only one I'm going to share with you right here at this point is this one with Clea, because the other one falls in another segment later. We're also getting a Psylocke one-shot. Why Psylocke? I don't know. I don't know how she's mixing it up in this or why we really need her in this, but it looks like she's fighting Vampire Hand, and all right. The more confusing thing, apart from the fact that we're getting a Psylocke one-shot thrown in here, I mean, it's not any different than the Magic one, is that the Magic one, they gave us some incentives. They tried to really, play to the collector market. I think they missed the mark here. They only gave us 2 covers. You got a Peach and you got the main cover. They probably had a good chance to throw in like a Lyrics Lee or a Derek Chu cover that was also a Virgin 1 in 50, and orders probably would have went through the roof because people love buying those, and retailers know people love buying those, but they didn't offer it. So yeah, A or B here on this one shot. Opportunity missed is all I'm saying. They could have probably gotten a few more bucks out of us collectors with just a awesome Psylocke cover. But it is what it is. As you know, Miles has been infected. This is going to have to wrap up at some point too. So Miles Morales issue 22 is another Blood Hunt tie-in. There are a couple of covers here as well. One we'll talk about a little bit later. Other than the Blood Hunt cover here with him in the flowers, we have a Rose Besh cover that reminds me of the Spider-Gwen cover because of the not only the pose and the background color, but it's it's a Rose Besh style. I don't know why we got this here and on this issue. It doesn't seem to relate to what's going on in the story in any way whatsoever. But okay, we got it. It's a B cover, and if you want to pay a lot more, you can get a virgin version of it for a 1 in 50 incentive. And that 1 in 50 incentive is doing a little bit right around ratio, a little bit less with the pre-sales, but the asking prices. So there's a starting bid at $35. So maybe you can get this one for cheap because other people are thinking it's going to be a big hit, and they're asking 100 to 120 already. They're asking, but that doesn't mean that's what this book's going to be. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens with this, especially when books like this go up for auction. This ending on Wednesday, so we'll find out on Wednesday how that one plays out, that $35 with no bids as of this at this point. But who knows? Who knows where it might go? Still rolling on. We're getting another one shot out of Werewolf by Night. This is the Jake Gomez. Is that his name? It's not the Jack Russell, the Werewolf by Night TV show one. It's the newer Werewolf by Night dude. But we're getting a one shot here. Couple of cool covers on this one as well. Here, and we got. I know Kyle was a big fan of the robot dinosaur getting ripped apart, and we also got a Saturday morning cartoon variant, which scratches that Scooby-Doo itch if you have one. So that's also a connecting cover with a book that's coming out still next week. Before this is all over, we are getting a Hulk one-shot related to Blood Hunt. So that Hulk one-shot will have a connecting cover with this Saturday morning variant, Werewolf by Night. So look out for both of those if you want to have those put together. Again, I'm getting Scooby-Doo vibes out of here, and that's kind of fun. But the real one that I like out of this bunch is that probably the one at 25, and I probably should have put this in my top 5 covers of the week, but I forgot about it. I forgot about it until I was already done with the 5, and I said, oh, But it's a Maria Wolf cover. I just like something about the blood drippy. It's and just the fur, the high detail. It looks almost like a Japanese tattoo style. I dig it. I don't know. That's all I can say. I just like it. And it's a 1 in 25. And it's doing all right to start here. Early pre-sales, $30 to $50. Asking prices are looking for $30, $40, $70 on this 1 in 25. We'll see where it lands, but that's the early indicators, which don't always tell the whole story, but those are the early signs of what could be a book that we need to keep an eye on this week. Moving on with Blood Hunt, we're going to hit the later prints because, yes, there are some more second print Blood Hunt books, so let's just roll in it right away with Blood Hunt 1 getting a second print. Surprisingly, it's not red like all the other second prints have been. It's just like a regular cover, but it does kind of spoil something that happens inside that book, which is, Doctor Strange getting stabbed by Blade with his heel turn right there. But then we get another second print here with the Union Jack the Ripper part 1, which is the familiar blood red cover. So, yeah, there you go. Couple of Blood Hunt second prints for this week if you missed out on the first ones. I like the Jack the Ripper story, Union Jack the Ripper story so far. See how that one wraps up too. So they've only been 2, so we got one more on the way. We're also getting a fourth Ultimate X-Men one. Who did get this already that you need another printing? But we're getting it. Not only are we getting a design cover on the regular, we're getting a blank too if you want a blank cover. I don't know why they keep releasing these blank covers late as like extra printings on later printings. Like fourth, why do you need 2 covers on a 4th printing for one? And why does one of them need to be a blank? You should have offered the blank at the start. But whatever. It is what it is. Grommets. If you missed out on Grommets, which I think many of you might have, they're apart from the cool incentives that book has had so far, we're getting a second print right here. So issue 1 of 7, there will be 7 issues in this arc, this story arc. So catch back up right here with the second print for number 1 if you missed out. Also, if you missed out on the Ghost Machine stuff, Redcoat is giving us a 3rd printing, which is going with a pretty cool, like, why am I drawing a blank on the word? It's not pastel. It's a parchment paper, like a parchment paper scroll kind of vibe here. Yeah, with the little, the stamp, the waxy stamp, etc. On Redcoat. And then Rook is also giving us a 3rd print. This is probably my favorite of the group of the Ghost Machine early books so far. It's a lot of fun. I dig it. Cool sci-fi stuff. So give it a try. And if you missed out, there's a 3rd print. So you got another chance to give it a read. We're getting a remastered edition of the Dark Crystal here. So just like they did Labyrinth, they're doing the Dark Crystal. So basically it's like a facsimile reprint, remastered, and then they do give a new cover. I'm okay with that because you're calling it remastered. You're not calling it a facsimile and throwing new art on it. That makes sense. Unlike these guys giving us a facsimile of Secret Wars number 7, first appearance of Jessica Carpenter as a Spider-Woman. With a foil cover, fine. You can call it a facsimile and slap some foil on it. I'm not going to moan and groan, but then you throw new art on it. It's no longer a facsimile. But they have new art on a 1 in 25. And I will admit, I like this new art. I don't like the fact that this new art is on a facsimile incentive, but I do like this cover. And it does make sense to put Spider-Woman on the cover of her first appearance more prominently than you have on the pink one there. But with that said, it is what it is. And this book doing a little bit, as many of these have done over the last few months. As much as I dislike and complain, some of these incentives and facsimile incentives on facsimiles and later printings have done well. Granted, you can still get the cheap copy. Look, one sold for as cheap as $12, but then other copies have sold for best offer on $38 and $50. Asking prices are looking for $50, $60, $80 right now. We'll see where it lands, but that's where we're at right now. Outside of that, here's a couple things I'm going to check out, because if you can believe it, I actually don't have a reading section this week. Most of the reading books that I want to read have already been covered in other segments, so I didn't have a regular reading list for this week, but I do have a going to check it out section. These are some things I've been hearing things about. I have not been keeping up. I have not been reading them, though I want to, and have mentioned many times that I want to. These are things I'm going to check out. Starting off with Barbaric, issue 2. I know there's been a few minis already for this series. I've heard a lot of cool stuff about the talking axe and wants blood, etc. I even got the issue 1 of this, but I still haven't sat down to read it. So I'm going to sit down and read issue 1 and issue 2 this week, because I do want to check this out. Like I said, I've heard good things. Seems interesting. Seems right up my alley. I want to give this a look-see. The other book that it's been out a while, and I've seen it. It's been out. It kind of gave me like Invincible vibes when it was released, and I said, yeah, maybe I should get it, maybe not. And I've heard it was good, is Radiant Black. But this week they have some sort of a event, some Catalyst War, some kind of connecting cover event. So I'm kind of curious. So I might give this a look this week as well. So Radiant Black, issue 29, has a connecting cover with issue 29.5. Boom. And they go together and they make this pretty cool connecting cover. So maybe I'll give it a look. I don't know. We'll see. Now, don't have a reading list, but I do have a little pile of new number 1s. So let's get into that. Starting off, Cyberpunk 2077. Still haven't played this game. I bought this game at release, heard it had a lot of bugs. I waited, and now it's been out a couple of years, and I still haven't tried to play it. But we're getting a new comic book series. They are adapting this apparently into something, so that first series has already hit like the list a few times and spiked a little bit. But now we're getting another run here with a new mini series for Cyberpunk 2077 Kickdown. But yeah, fire up those engines, street takeover, etc. Pretty cool covers here on this one. You got an Akira homage, it looks like, and a couple other fun ones as well. And they all get that nice little yellow kind of border there at the bottom. Kind of makes them uniform. And yeah, 4 options, no incentives. Pick the one you like. I kind of like that Akira looking one. I don't know if it's definitely Akira, but it's giving me Akira vibes. So with that, we are also getting a new Grendel series. I know Mark is going to make fun of BK because we read that original Grendel series or Grendel story when he was introduced, and man, Hunter Rose, it was not good. The original story was just dumb. Just gotta call it what it is. It was dumb. It was generic and dumb, but a lot of those things were. I mean, the Turtles wasn't the most ingenious of ideas. It was kind of silly to start too, but we learned to love it, and it became its own thing. But we're getting Grendel, a new Grendel series, issue 1 of 4, a new mini coming out. And it's from Matt Wagner. So we'll see how this is. Only 2 covers, A cover and B cover if you want one. And yeah, Devil's Crucible Defiance. I don't know why we need so many tags on it. I mean, Devil's Crucible or Defiance. I don't see how they all go together. Is it in defiance of the Devil's Crucible? Or I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Chitara is getting spotlighted here. Out of all the Thundercats, they pick the female that'll sell a lot of covers. Makes sense, because that's all I know about this. Yes, they hold a whole right up here. I'm not reading any of this. None of this is unimportant. People are buying this because they want the covers. You got the Sozomika cover. They want that cover. Or they want one of these other covers here. Where, boom, boom. Like, they want one of these. We got Lyrics Lee giving you covers. We've got foil covers. We've got all kinds of covers for you. Many variations on these. And that's what it is. Doesn't matter what the story's about. Something about just... warring princess or something. I don't know. They're just trying to sell you covers. Just call it what it is. That's what it is. That said, how about the Doctor? You guys know that I do like Doctor Who. Granted, I got to catch up on the season's over, but I got to watch the new Doctor. I saw his first episode. Was not thrilled, but it wasn't bad. Just the singing kind of threw me off. But I got to get back to it. I got to get back, check it out. If you can see, I do have a TARDIS behind me. I do have a plethora of sonic screwdrivers sitting here on my little collector's desk. So I do like Doctor Who, and this is a pretty cool and very well done art germ for the characters in the series. Like, it really looks like them. Like, good job, art germ. But this is the start of a new series following the 15th Doctor. So yeah, if you're interested and you like Doctor Who, few covers here as well, apart from the art germ. We've got a photo cover of the Cybermen. We've got a logo one and a pretty cool Josh Swaby's got one in here. So yeah, not bad. But that's one of my on my to-do list this summer too, is to catch up on the Doctor, because I've missed it. I just missed it. I went to Disney Plus and I took it for granted that they were there, and then episode after episode started piling up, and I was like, I'll get to it. Now I got to catch up for real. But speaking of catching up, this book, All the Things We Didn't Do Last Night by Maria Lovett, is not a new book. Apparently, this is just collecting 3 parts that were released in those Image 30th Anniversary anthology books that came out a little while ago, and they just put them into one book to make this book. So, yeah, I guess that's cool. You can go check it out then. But the 3-part story is already out there. You might have read it already, and if not, now's your chance to get it with multiple cover options. They all are kind of similar. A, B, and C. And incentives on all of these. We'll just make them virgins. Boom. And we've got a 1 in 10, a 1 in 15, and a 1 in 20. If you're interested. So there you go. I'm curious about this new sci-fi story, Free Agents, coming from Kurt Busiek and Fabian Nizia. So also an Image. This is coming out this week. Some cool stuff here. This is actually a wraparound cover, but I didn't get the back. I'm sorry. But there's Kevin McGuire, and there's a blank sketch here, one as well. And then there's a couple of cool incentive variants on this one, too. I already got these pre-ordered, but I did not get the incentives. I really wish I should have, because that 1 in 25 by Larson is really awesome. I love that homage. So I love a good, real classic throwback homage, especially when it's done well. And that's what the 1 in 25 is one of my favorite covers this week, if not my favorite. And the 1 in 50 ain't bad either, for what it is. I don't know a lot about the story or the buildup. Like I said, I just know a little bit, read the little synopsis, kind of sped through it. All I knew is I was interested. I was intrigued. I don't like knowing too much. It's like trailers, like movie trailers. I don't need to watch the whole trailers a lot of time. Once I see enough to get me interested, all right, I'm going to go see it. I don't need to keep watching and look for more Easter eggs or teases and spoilers and all that stuff. I generally avoid that type of stuff, especially like Deadpool 3. I'm not looking for spoilers. I don't really want to see them if I can avoid them, but sometimes you can't avoid them. But the point is, I'm already sold. I'm going to go see it when it comes out. So you don't have to keep giving me information. I don't want to know the whole story before I walk into the theater. I'd like to just enjoy it while I'm there. But that said, going back to the incentive, the 1 in 25, it is a pretty awesome Fantastic Four number 25. The Hulk thing, face off. Look at it. I mean, it's pretty well done. And it, 1 for 1 almost. Except they kind of reversed the green guy with the Rocky looking dude in opposite spots. But otherwise, yeah, pretty cool. It's actually doing all right if you got a hold of one of these or can get a hold of one of these. Early sales, 30 to 50. I only found one listed, and it's looking for 50. So, yeah, if you can grab one at your store for a round ratio, you might do all right, because this one might be of interest. The 1 in 50, on the other hand, I don't know, because there have been no sales yet, but the asking prices are looking for 60 and 100, which are both above ratio. So they're fishing. We'll see if that gets met or not. Marvel's giving us a few things too. So Marvel's giving us Annihilation 2099 and introducing a lot of new characters in this series. I believe all of the 1 in 25s are going to have new character first appearances on their covers. So in this one, we're getting Nova 2099. It's kind of cool. Kind of want to check this out. Yeah, I mean, here's the write-up too if you want to check it up. So we want to find out who is the last Nova. We'll find out apparently in this story in 2099, which has an A cover as well as a B cover. And as I mentioned before, a 1 in 25 that is not only a first appearance of this new Nova character, but it's an homage cover as well. And as I said, all of these, I think there's 5 issues in this series coming. All of the 1 in 25s, all are homages to other first appearances. So they're first appearances, homaging first appearances. In this case, new Nova referencing old Nova. So you can see just everything there kind of lined up with the blast and the poses. Nicely done. But I do want to give this one a read. I'm kind of curious. I don't love the 2099 universe as much as, say, Marco, but I'm interested. I'm interested, especially when you get into the space stuff. I'm always down for some cosmic adventures. What I'm not so much down for is this Life of Wolverine. Apparently, they're going to, in chronological order for the first time, Wolverine's been mind wiped, yada, 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 yada. I don't care. I didn't really want to know his backstory to begin with, and you don't have to retell it to me in chronological order. I remember when they did that. Well, it was kind of cool when they did it for The Godfather. I can watch Godfather 1 and then watch Godfather 2. You don't got to reorder all of the scenes in Godfather 2 to put them first so I can follow it through. That's not how they came out. I don't know, but that's what it reminded me of when they took Godfather 2 and Godfather 1 and mashed them together and put all the De Niro stuff first and then eventually went into the Brando stuff. It's unnecessary. Also unnecessary. I don't need this. I don't need this book. But if you want to catch up on the life of Wolverine, I get it. It's his 50th anniversary. Go for it. Grab it. Read it. Whatever. We also don't need this, I don't think. Wolverine Deep Cut. And again, I was on SNS this past week, and this was one of the worst covers of the week. And I didn't see it at first until I was on that show. But yeah, this is awful. How is he standing? It looks like he's like doing a chin up on an invisible bar, and we're looking down on him. And for some reason, he's doing a chin up while spreading his legs as wide as he possibly can. This physically, I don't know how he is standing. All of his weight is past his knees and his legs. Is he leaping? If he is, why is he leaping with his own? It makes no sense. Again, WTF contender, but I didn't do it this week. Here's a whole write-up they can tell us. Apparently, they're flashing back to find out what happened to him before he ran into the Reavers in the Australian outback. Like, are we looking for every little tiny nook and cranny of backstory that they haven't told us about Wolverine so they can go back and sell us a crappy miniseries to tell us that backstory? Because I guess that's what they're doing. I don't know if it's necessary. Again, maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good. It is Chris Claremont after all. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe I'm just being a negative Nancy here. I don't know. It just feels forced. That's all. But multiple covers here as well as another one we'll get into later. And there is a 1 in 25 incentive here as well by Declan Shapley, I believe. Yeah, it's all right. Inquisitors. We're also getting a new Star Wars series with the Inquisitors. So yeah, new number 1. Cool. They can't seem to decide how they want to draw the Grand Inquisitor. Do you want to give him the big head or not give him the big head? I don't know. We're going to play both ends of the field and give you some that kind of look a little like the big head. And then we're going to completely undo it on the 1 in 25 and just give you like the TV show, the really bulbous head. I don't know. They're not consistent with the head on the Inquisitor, Grand Inquisitor, but it is what it is. It's 1 in 25. It's a Star Wars new book. It's got, lightsabers on it, especially red lightsabers. People love the red lightsabers. Can't call them Sith because they're not actually Sith, but people like the red lightsabers. So you can imagine this has already got early interest. Not a ton, but a little. $30 to $40 early pre-sales. Asking prices $30 to $40. 1 in 25. It's been a while since we've talked about a Star Wars 1 in 25 doing that. So that's all you need. Throw some red lightsabers on there, and then we'll get you a couple extra dollars. Also, starting up this month, we are looking at an artist spotlight by DC for Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, who is doing these like 80s throwback kind of design covers. I don't know. Kind of cool. Batman 150's got one of them. Yeah, I know. We're looking at just Batman's butt because it's like a design cover. It's a wraparound. Boom. Kind of cool. It's almost like you get into those old collector guides of like all the characters that tells you who they are. Shazam also is giving us one. This one, they started with the front shot and will fold out again. But when it's on the shelf, you're just going to see the backside shot, which is kind of awkward. But it is what it is. Also, this month, we will be covering the Aliens variants. So we will be having a few, not a ton, because they're not going to do a lot of these, surprisingly. They're only going to do a few. But we will. I made a whole segment for it. And at the end of the month, I'll probably do a short for it. But we are doing Marvel versus Aliens variants. And this week, we're getting one. And it is from Deadpool number 4. Deadpool fighting a xenomorph. You can see the whole list of the books that are coming up here. Looks like we'll be getting one a week through July. And one that's dribbled all the way out into the middle of August for some reason. But there we go. This is what we'll be looking for. So probably at the end of July, I'll just show all of them because I think we've seen most of the covers already. But 5 covers will make up this set if you want to collect these Aliens versus Marvel covers. Stormbreakers. Stormbreakers for this month, we moved away from the Infinity Stones into a whole new topic, which is Deadpool versus Wolverine. So we're getting some Deadpool versus Wolverine covers here on various books that they randomly decide to throw out there. No real rhyme nor reason, but this one on Wolverine Deep Cut. As I mentioned, one more cover here. So you got Wolverine with hot dogs and onions and crap on his claws, sure, while he's being burned. And then Deadpool 4 also has one with Deadpool holding, a cricket bat. That's also probably from. Geez, why am I drawing a blank? Days of Confused. Yeah. Come here, freshman. Yeah. Anyway, Wolverine versus Deadpool. That's what they're doing for Stormbreakers. So we've got the Aliens covers. We've got the Stormbreakers covers. They're also giving us some more Deadpool and Wolverine stuff. So let's get more into the other Deadpool and Wolverine tie-in type stuff, including movie covers. They'll be doing movie covers as well throughout the month or so. Starting off with here, there's a movie cover for Deadpool number 4. We saw this shot in the trailer. He's in the back of a SUV or something, minivan. But there'll be 6 covers in total. You can see here coming out throughout, July and August. So get those if you're interested in those. We'll also be getting Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. Yeah, they're Deadpooling us up for July. Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe variants also running through this entire month. We only got a couple to start, but here are the ones we've got to start. Doctor Strange, Deadpool, got Doctor Strange there choking him out with his cape of levitation. Cool. On Doctor Strange 17. Miles Morales Spider-Man also. He's getting killed by Deadpool. So basically, whoever's title it is, you're getting killed by Deadpool, just like Venom is also getting it in Venom 35 this month, which is also pretty cool. They go back to that Maxwell, commercial with the speakers and blowing everything back. But since it's a Venom symbiote, they're sensitive to sound. It's killing him. It's well thought out. It's pretty good. Pretty well thought out, I think. But yeah, we'll be getting a bunch of those all month, and I'll be doing shorts on those ones as well, because that seems to be the big theme for the month is the Deadpool kill. So there's going to be like a 20 or so of those covers in total, as opposed to like the Aliens, which is only like 5 covers, or the movie ones, which is only like 6 covers. But speaking of covers, let's try to wrap up here and get into the Cheesecake covers. Again, there's not a ton. There are only a few for this week. We got Poison Ivy, which, yes, I know there's usually at least one Poison Ivy cover or 2 that could fit in here. But this week, we got the David Nakayama regular open order cover with her watering the flowers. And then there is a 1 in 50 virgin version of it. You see, they didn't remove much of the trade dress. There wasn't much to remove to begin with. So I don't know why anybody would really want to pay all that extra for the 1 in 50. But if you want to, you can. It is trading at under ratio if you wanted it. So you could probably get it for cheap. We are also getting a swimsuit issue at a Grim Fairy Tales, because why not? Why not, right? It's Zenoscope after all. But here we go. 2024 swimsuit issue with multiple covers here. Yeah, I think, it's Cheesecake. It is what it is. You know what it is. And Sonia Matas, I don't know if I'm saying the name right, in the middle. A bit of a risque version for the 1 in 20. Yes, covered up by the flowers. That's not what you think they are. Those are flowers. But yeah, 1 in 20 there. Critter, whatever this Critter title is out of Antarctic. Also, this first cover also could have ended in the WTF section, because look at the proportions there. Look how tiny her head is and her arms compared to the bottom half. But yeah, if you like that kind of thing, there you go. There's also a B cover all available as well for Villain Spotlight on Mascara. But that's it. That's all for the Cheesecake covers this week. I mean, that's enough. There's plenty of Cheesecake in there. But let's just get into regular covers. There's a couple that I like just for the covers alone. Almost making the cut of my top 5. I like this Tony Harris doing the Justice Society. I don't know, just all the characters, the bright colors, just the layout. I just dig it. I don't know why. I do. I dig it. Almost made the cut. Making the cut, I also like this Conan cover. It's simple silhouette, but the blood and the skulls in the foreground looks like a charcoal rendering. I just dig it. I just like the emotion that he evokes. This Conan book is pretty cool. And this cover ain't bad either. There's a third cover that's okay, but he had like a weird look in his eyes, like he was surprised to be like fighting. So I didn't put that one in here, but this one with the torch, also pretty cool. Space Ghost, also giving us multiple covers because, well, it's Dynamite, and they do a lot of covers. Matina. They didn't pull this one. Don't know if this is based off anything, but yeah, Matina. There's also a Bjorn Barons as well as a Michael Cho that I like. So I like all three of these. And then there's, I think, another one or two as well, but these are the three that I like, so I just threw them in here. And then our final segment, just to wrap us up here in about 45 minutes or so, incentives. There are a couple of random incentives that we can just talk about because they kind of stood out and, yeah, something to watch out for. We talked about Sonic last month because 69 was leading into the introduction of this newer Sonic character. I don't even remember what his name is, but there's a new villain of some sort in this issue. So this 1 in 10 is already sold out at a bunch of places. Something to keep an eye on. Granted, it's not selling for a lot yet, only like $15, but I couldn't find any available. So if these do start hitting the shelves, I can see this one being like 20 to 25 pretty quickly. So just something to keep an eye on. I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. That's all. So something to watch, something to keep an eye on. Sonic the Hedgehog, number 70, the 1 in 10 incentive. You might even want to watch the regular covers too. So like I said, new character, Sonic. We're getting a new Sonic movie. People might start getting excited for Sonic again pretty soon. So just something to keep an eye on. Randomly, Amazing Spider-Man annual number 1 or annual for this year. A 1 in 10 design cover for this Overtime character. Who they're building out these new Infinity Stone holders. So who knows if anything will come out of this. It is a really dumb name. I guess it's an okay power to kind of do like a quick rewind of the time. I mean, okay, it's kind of unique, I guess, but I don't know. The name Overtime is kind of silly. That's all. But design cover doesn't have a lot of covers, doesn't have a lot of appearances, so it's something to keep an eye on. It's not doing anything. It is just a Spider-Man annual after all. Venom 35 also has a 1 in 25. Pretty cool cover here. A lot of symbiotes. Not bad. Not really doing much as far as trading at a premium or anything, but just I like the cover and something to keep an eye on. Same thing with the Poison Ivy. I told you the 1 in 50 isn't doing anything special. This is the 1 in 25. I just like the art here. It's kind of creepy, and it's not really in the Cheesecake realm, which is why I didn't put it in the Cheesecake area. Put it in here because I just dig the art. Just the desperate look in her eyes, and this she's facing off against not the Phosphorus Man. What the hell is it? Floronic Man. I think the Floronic Man is the villain in this story. So pretty cool. Yeah, I just like the cover. 1 in 25. And then our last 1 in 25 is this DC cover, which is from Birds of Prey. And it's been a while. It's been a while since we had a DC book like this, giving us a cover that people are probably going to want. And it looks like this might be one. Early indicators, 20 to 40 bucks. Early sales, asking prices, $25, $40, $45. We saw this a number of times last year, where you put sexy girl cover on a DC book and I wanted 25, and it's quickly, 30 to 50 bucks. So not surprised it's happening again. Only question is, are we going to see more of these? But with that all said, we can wrap this week up a little bit early because that's all I got for you. Just want to, I want to thank you all for the support. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that fun stuff down below. Please go check out Toy Informer and give a like and a subscription, a sub over there. And we'll have plenty more content coming your way in the coming days. I know I'm trying to dance with 2 channels now, so you'll have to forgive me if I miss the occasional Dollarman digging and or chasing Ghost Tuesday night slot. We'll see. I'll get back on track soon enough, but content will be coming. More will be coming. So with that all said, I'll see y'all later. All right, bye.